Hope you had a lovely week. It's a bit cheating to get more content by just splitting up the streams. But, you know, there are not many people who like to watch crash streams for longer than an hour. And otherwise, you can always watch them on Twitch. You can make a playlist and then watch it every other week or so. But yeah, I'm not going to that secondhand store because I know I will buy way too much over there. Cool. Was a lovely lady working over there. And I did manage I didn't want to go inside at all, but from the street I could see a chair they had. How about I paint these as well? And that chair was like €5, so I was like, swoop. Did take a little bit extra. They also had books, but it was so disorganized. You just have to come across something if you want to see it. So maybe I'll return there later on. If not, that's okay. Like I said, I always buy way too much at secondhand stores. And for those, by the way, who are interested in how far along I'm with the sixth book, my sixth novel, when this stream goes online, I've already finished it. But currently, I think I'm going to finish the main story today because I need 3 more episodes. And then start to put in the extras. Found a little bit of extra art. And I'm probably going to play with the margins just to make it a little bit thinner. Less pages. Because if I have less pages, that makes the book cheaper. I think there's a car outside where the alarm is running wild. Hopefully 2 layers will be enough for this because it's so tedious to paint something so small. Still have to do the sides, which are going to be drama as well. And the backs, of course. I think with the backs, I'm just going to make it all. Well, I can make matching colors. I mean, I have plenty of acrylic markers. These are tedious tiny as well. And like I said, this paint takes about 2 days to dry in the current weather. And that means it's about 14 degrees in this space. I'm not using a heater. I might not actually use all these tiny little bits. Here are my tweezers. Whew. Like I said, very tedious work. There's a car alarm going off. Very annoying. But that's not something doing, at least I'm assuming someone's not doing that on purpose. But anyway, I have plenty of this yellow metallic paint, which is nice. Because it does work very nicely. Wish they had some purple as well. Of course, you could try and mix it, which I may do when I've run off my other metallic paints, but I don't think it's going to be a very nice purple if you paint it. You only had 2 types of blue, salmon, pink, and green. But who knows, maybe when I have another empty jar, I can mix a purple. Should have gotten these tweezers earlier. By the way, I absolutely hate the pattern of these tweezers. Panterprintje, as we say in Dutch. But, and I found it on the streets, so I cleaned it, and now it's my craft tweezers. It works fine. The fact I hate the design doesn't make it useless. I sometimes take things I found on the street, partly to remove trash off the street, and most of the time I can use it. Or I grab it because I can use it. Whew. And thank you for saving those jars for me. Probably gonna have a wonderful collection of mixed paint. Okay, now these annoying tiny ones. Always have to check which side you're actually at. And thank you for taking them along to AnimeCon. I'm not assuming you're gonna bring them. That would be a bit expensive. Like I said, I also have these little jars for myself. I just don't eat chocolate paste that often. So it goes very slow with us. Really, I should have thought of these tweezers last time I painted these for the first layer, because that was such a pain. And now the last one, the green, and then I can start a new one. So like I said, if you're making this, I do recommend printing it larger. Right, I'm like, whew, I'm done with all the small ones, but I still have those rocks to do. Soaky rag. Happy. These are actually quite dark, but I'm going to try and make them lighter with some pastel makeup later on. Doesn't need much. But at least you get some diversity, you know? There's like 2 light ones, 4 dark ones. And people are most welcome to change the colors I'm painting. Nobody has to follow my design. And yes, I'm using a large rock as my palette. Because, you know, why not? You're actually painting 2 things at the same time. Okay, I need to put these away because this tray is completely full. Better not put them on the desk. I need to clean later today. So I have a rack over here, completely hidden. Drying station. Right, there's still some space here. And I can do this one soon enough. And I finally found a few more silicone mats. So I can cut up a few more for the last ones. I think I bought too much silicone mats, but that's okay. They're always useful for crafts anyway. Bit too much, so let's return the paint. Let's put this over here. Big tubes, very little contents, but at least quite some nice colors. And when I'm cleaning up, I can probably show the birthday gift I received from my love. Bleep, bleep. Getting a notification. What am I getting a notification of? Her phone? Um, Okay, so that means done. Now I saw this one was dry enough to work with, so I need oh, I need you first. White, I need white. That's silver. This one's going to get open. Where's my craft knife? Of course I'm cutting away from me. Why do you ask? Never cut away from me. I always cut to myself. Very wrong, very bad. I'm probably gonna need... Oh, this is a trash spot. Doop-de-doop-de-doop. This is what I really hate about acrylic markers. You need to pump them, and it takes so long. And I'm an impatient one. Probably gonna need a second layer. These are less opaque than the one from the action. Which I normally would like. Oh, I need to try and fix that, but that's going to be very tricky. But in this case, I can use it to blend colors slightly. Now, this is going to be very tricky because I need to be in a crevice. Getting there, getting there. This one doesn't really have a point anymore. Okay, into the crevice. Good, good. Now, I need the red. Now we need to dry the white, and then I can finish it up. So this is pretty much done. Just need to do a new layer of the white. Oh, backside didn't really do well, so I need to redo the back as well. But that's upcoming. Right. I need to start this one. And I need this color of paint. I need slightly reddish brown. And from the tube, this looks fine. Downside, this is a paint that's quite transparent and needs quite a lot of layers before it's well and dry. For those who wonder, this is my elf character Ow. He's the big brother of Sushi. And like all elves, he's an earth user, meaning he can control the earth. He's mostly skilled with plants, but you know, those don't really grow near morning snow, which is an almost forever snow world. So most he had to do was use his powers to get through the permafrost and dig. He also shapes rocks, which is a skill not all elves can do or use because, you know, they have trees to work with. So, and he knows how to shape gems, but it's a very difficult material to work with. So, despite it being like 20 years later, he still considers himself a novice because, you know, shaping gems isn't really a necessary skill. There are other things he can spend his time on, but he does know how to shape gems a little bit. He's a bit of a cocky character. A bit too much ego. And obsessively protective of his little sister. Has a reason, because of course it has a reason. And he doesn't mind his sister crossing the world as long as he knows where she is and with who she is, then it's okay. If he doesn't know where she is and with whom, that's when he gets crazy. Now, let's grab a green, tube green, because the green I have here is way too light. These little trays, you often get them with kids packaging. I had a couple of those, but some simply just disintegrated. Let's do it here in the green. Oh, this is a nice green. Ooh, this has a nice opacity. I squirted way too much from the tube, and this is the kind of paint you can't really put back into the tube. So I'm gonna grab a little container, not a jar, little container. I'm gonna use that for mixing. But let's first actually paint green what needs to be painted green. Okay. Let's see, this one is going to be the light green, brown, no, I'm not going to make that green, so I'm gonna grab a little container. Don't have one here, right? I want one that I can actually preserve longer than 3 days. Still have plenty of those, so don't worry. Right, that needs to go upstairs. Fine, you do whatever you want. This one's fine. So here we have nice dark green paint. And we're going to add a little bit of the very thin green. And we're going to mix. Oh, still way too light, because it's going to dry darker. Of course, it's all over my brush. No, it still needs to go lighter. That's probably gonna be too dark, but hey, too light, but that's okay. Oh no, this is becoming a nice color. Yep. Probably gonna be a smidge darker when painting. And I only need it for such a small bit, but that's okay. And I had a very dark green. Don't think this is going to be the right green, but I can probably mix something. I used to get all of these from with little with your Chinese food. Nowadays you get bags, but that's okay. I can work with this. I'll make sure I can work with this. Okay, first we're going to grab this green because otherwise we're going to waste it. We don't want that. Put you over here. Just to mix a bit of the other color through it so it matches better. I do need some dark. The black is very intensive. And this gray is very dark when it dries. So I'm gonna add a smidge of gray. It's just going to be an experiment, so I'm not sure what color is going to come out of it. Because it looks very light right now. And of course, I do need plenty of paint to work with. A bit more of this. Slightly a bit. Doesn't even say which color it is. Probably Viridian. Come on, you can do it. I'm gonna mute it because this is trying. No, everything is going to become green. Okay, now let's grab a new tissue because this one is filled, and we're going to see which color it's going to be when it dries. This one needs to be at least clean-ish. This one's going to get tossed because it's just completely filled. Now everything gets green. So that wasn't the greatest idea I had. This tissue is already too green. There we go. We'll see which color it's going to be next week or so. And otherwise I have a very dark brown I can mix in. I think I need to do that anyway, because otherwise this is going to become way too green of an image. But let's first let it dry and see what comes out of it. This is my extremely dark brown. Looks very chocolatey, as if it's the normal Nutella. Nutella. But it dries up very dark. Okay, so this is ow for now. And after ow, we had rain. And after rain, we had Kai. And I don't need my shiny or UV paint for him. I just need normal orange. This looks orangey. It might actually be a bit too dark, but that's okay. Oh, this is actually a bit too dark. And of course, I grabbed too much paint. So I'm probably going to need a little container soon enough. Yeah, this is too dark for Kai. But these acrylic paints do lay on very nicely. It almost looks red. But for first layer, it's quite nice. Of course, it's a brand that no longer exists, or actually it's brandless. Okay, so considering this is way too dark, I'm gonna grab another cup. Like I said, I still have plenty. I am getting to the limit, but I still have plenty, and I'm gonna grab some neon paint. And this is a very thin neon paint, so it's probably gonna result in a nice blend. See, it looks red, but it is orange. It's a bit scarlety. That's a bubble. So how are you supposed to get it off? This is not a pull cap, is it? No, this is a twist cap, but you twist everything off. Okay, well, that goes everywhere. Very thin neon yellow paint. This is from the Zeeman, I believe. Still very reddish. I'm gonna need some more neon paint. And I need quite a lot, it seems. It's very thin. Let's add some more of the scarlet or viridian paint, whatever you want to call it. Now we're getting a nice orange. It's still a deep orange, bit of a dark reddish orange. Kai has bright orange hair, but I still need even more yellow. Does it look neon and yellow or just normal yellow to you guys? Okay, this is more Kai's color. Still a bit dark, but may have to put even more yellow in there if it dries too dark. But like I said, this is very thin paint. It's a bit, it's not orange, bright or as orange, but it is just gonna let it mix on the figure a bit. So we also have those crevices done. I already finished Kai's coin, so that's easy. See, this is such thin paint now. But if you mix thin paints with thick paints, hopefully you get a nice consistency. How about I stop painting my own fingers? I can probably buy these little containers online as well. Like a zillion at once. Might actually do that eventually. Let's see. After Kai, there was a whole time without anyone joining. But I do want to start painting this one. First layer. I do want to make Rexy green. Probably gonna have to make it. This one is a bit too much paint. Paper towel again. Let's see how far along we get with this. My little dinosaur character, Rexy. And considering no one knows what dinosaurs actually look like, I'm going for the scaly version, so Rexy can also be seen as a little dragon. And let's think. After the air sign, we get a water sign, so Cancer is the next zodiac sign I need to start doing. Which means I can use pearlescent paint again. There we go. And let's look for let's not ruin the back even more than needed. So get rid of the wet paint. And after that I can do the white off Ivysaur again. Right, now I'm gonna need some nice pearlescent blue paint for the hair. And I think I'm going for this color. Where's my tweezers? Here's my tweezers. Thought I saw hair. Oh well, apparently not. Always check the sides. I mean, I can just do the back again. Still have that paint. Oh, we've almost crossed another hour. So next up, I'm going to take a little break, about 15 minutes. Grab a drink. Say hi to my love. Grab the parcel that just been delivered. And then I'm going to do a cleanup stream. Oh, I'm not gone yet. I think about 10 more minutes. Always forget. This is a detachable brush with several different heads. And this is the only head I use because I prefer that one. Okay, now you can go dry again. I'll move you to the drying station soon enough because I think I can finish this one up. Now I need to be very careful over here. Already missed the tooth. So I'm probably gonna have to do that again. When it's dry. Clean it. I spot a little imperfection in the white. Grabbing my beautiful blend. There we go. Oh, and I spot just a little other imperfection. There we go. When this is dry, it can be spray painted for sealing. And then I'm gonna resin it. So, while the previous stream was longer than an hour, this is shorter than an hour. Did quite a lot of in progress stuff, which is fine because I still have plenty to paint. Really, a lot of paint. So yeah, I'll be seeing you either in about 15 minutes, more or less, or next week if you watch this on YouTube. Wee, bye bye.